back to CBS Soap Dish Recap, where we recap everything CBS soaps, both The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful. And this is the recap video for The Bold and the Beautiful for August 1st, 2022. And it was the long-awaited reuniting of Steffy and Finn. Plus, what is Deacon going to do with regards to Sheila? So we're going to talk about everything that happened in this episode. But before we do, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. Also, please don't forget to like and share. So both Taylor and Tridge are very happy of the fact that Finn is alive, but their daughter is still incognito. They don't know where she is, and their part is happy. The other part is, where's my daughter? However, they get a phone call from Lieutenant Baker, and Ridge shares the news, but of course he already knows what's going on because he informs them that Sheila Carter is once again on the run. And it's like, what type of police department is this? However, with that being said, you can tell by the look on Ridge's face, like, what are y'all doing? Seriously. Meanwhile, we see Finn standing from afar looking at this woman who he thought was Steffy. And I said production was not going to make this easy. It wasn't even Steffy. They made it look like her brown hair, black dress, sunglasses. Her own man had to come and say, wait a minute, keep your hands off my woman. So he ended up running into Tridge, which of course nobody knows where Steffy is. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, her doctor shows up. She's excited to see that Finn is alive. Obviously, she must have saw pictures or something. But the fact that, she's acknowledging the fact like, oh my God, you're alive. Just let me give you a hug. My question is, all of them just happen to run into each other. The beauty of soaps, right? Anyway, they both split up to look for, Steffy, to try to locate her. The doctor informed Finn that Steffy liked to go on these long walks, which I've never heard of a facility that will let your patients just roam through the city without any type of supervision. Let me know if I'm wrong. Meanwhile, Steffy is sitting off by herself. She's pondering the whole life that she had with Finn. Everything from the proposal to, the time when they got married, all the way up until the point where they had their son, Hayes. And yeah, it was a beautiful moment. And I'm like, come on with it, production. Can we get to the good part? And I didn't know whether or not they was going to try to stretch this out to a whole nother day. Then all of a sudden, while she's daydreaming, this lady, I don't know who she is, grabs her on the arm, I guess giving her this divine signal that somebody is going to be here for you. I don't know what that whole thing was, but I'm like, okay. Meanwhile, Tridge is still looking for her, and they spent the better of probably a good 15 minutes or so. Even Taylor mistaken this other girl for being Steffy. And I know they was building up anticipation for the fans, but okay. We saw Ridge asking these ladies if they seen her. Meanwhile, somehow she ended up in the church saying prayers, lighting candles and everything, which, that's fine. No knock against anything like that. But that was her way of lighting a candle because, of course, she thinks Finn is gone and she needs some kind of way to deal with her grief. And the bells of the church are ringing at this time as well while all of this is going on, which I guess supposedly triggered Finn to say, let me go check the church. Now, Monaco is a big place. And obviously that's the case because Tridge has had no luck at this point trying to find Steffy. All of a sudden, he goes to the church where she was, happened to see her coming out of the church doors or cathedral, either one. And he's like, Steffy. And of course she looks up. She's thinking that this is a dream. he couldn't be here. I can't believe what I'm seeing. And probably coming out of the church, she probably thinks she sees a figment of her imagination or some spirit of some sort. But of course, we get to see this romantic scene with her running to Finn, being so excited to see him. What did you think about it? Was it an exciting moment for you guys? Let me know if it was an emotional one. I didn't know how they were going to reunite them. I thought it was cool. If I had to give it a scale, I probably would say about an 8 because I thought it would be a little bit more romantic. Usually I'm very tear ridden with scenes like this, and I didn't break a tear this time. So hey, maybe it's just me. Maybe I was just like, okay, finally, because it has been 4, almost 5 months since Sheila shot Finn. So I will say I'm glad to see that they're finally reunited. Steffi has her husband back. Finn is alive, away from that whole thing that happened back in LA, being cooped up in that room with those tubes and needles and everything else, bedridden. So that part is behind us. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to be moving forward with these two and the fallout that's going to happen with Sheila. So speaking of Sheila, there's a knock on Deacon Sharp's door. Now he's thinking that it's his co-worker. Well, it's not your friendly neighborhood co-worker. It is your friendly neighborhood psychopath, Sheila Carter. And he never expected when he opened that door, she's coming at the door talking about, I need your help. Now, he was about to close the door on her face because he was not. I mean, he's on probation himself, but she barged her way in anyway. And she's like, I need your help. I have no one else to turn to. And I'm like, yeah, Mike is gone because you pretty much threw him under the bus last week. But of course, Deacon doesn't know at this point that Finn is alive. Deacon is looking at her as a cold-blooded killer or murderer or whatever the situation is. And she was more than happy to explain the fact that, hey, I didn't kill anybody. Guess what? Finn is 110% alive. And of course, he probably thought she was out of her mind. I think anybody would have thought she was out of her mind because everybody had mourned his death 4 months ago. So you can tell by the look on his face and the look on her face that both of them were crazy. I got to give it to Kimberly Brown. She does an excellent job as playing the villain. And part of it is her explaining the story. Everything from the fact that she broke out of jail. She went looking for Lee to find his gravesite, meaning Finn. What she found was a very much alive, comatose Finn. And she spent the story to make it look like, both me and Lee, we worked together to try to bring him back to health, when there's a whole nother part of this story that Deacon doesn't know, which is what happened to Lee. Now, I will say Lee made some stupid moves by making a phone call, before getting clear out of the house, but that's another video. However, she wants protection. She figures that Deacon is her old buddy, old pal, old buddy that's going to help her out. And unfortunately, somebody shows up at the door, which is Lieutenant Baker, looking for Sheila. She is begging and pleading with Deacon, please don't turn me in. And she wants actually him to sacrifice his freedom over hers because he is on probation. If he's harboring a fugitive, he's done. Both of them are done. So the question is, because they left us with this cliffhanger going into August 2nd episode, will Deacon turn her in? We'll have to wait and see. So let's get the conversation started down in the comments section. Let me know what your thoughts are. Was this the moment that you expected the production team to do with the reuniting of Steffi and Finn? And also, what do you think Deacon is going to do? Is he going to turn Sheila in, or is he going to find a way to hide her or something? We'll have to wait and see, but I want to know what you guys think. And what should he do? What do you think he's going to do? And what do you think that he should do? So I hope you enjoyed this quick recap. Take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and don't forget to like and share. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.